You know, when we think of aliens showing up on our doorstep, we usually picture spaceships zapping landmarks, right? Total invasion. But what if first contact wasn't about conquering us, but containing us? Today we're breaking down a true sci-fi classic, a story all about fear, a massive misunderstanding, and one heck of a warning for humanity.
So, it all starts not with a bang, but with a tiny blip on a radar screen. Something is circling the globe at 4,000 miles per hour. I mean, just imagine hearing that. The immediate reaction is just, no way. It's too fast, too high. This isn't another one of those flying saucer scares people keep talking about. And pretty quick, it becomes clear this isn't just a local glitch. Nope. Reports start flooding in from literally everywhere. Radar stations in every country are tracking the exact same thing, confirming the impossible. You can just feel this wave of global anxiety as every single person on the planet starts looking up.
At this point, the scientists and the military guys, they're all in agreement. This is no illusion. The data doesn't lie. And then it suddenly changes course. It makes a beeline straight for the east coast of the United States. And that's the moment it hits everyone like a ton of bricks. This is happening. This is real.
And just as fast as it appeared, it's descending, picking the heart of American power for its landing spot. So this is it. How did humanity get ready to greet its very first visitor from the stars? At 3:47 in the afternoon, it touches down, and then complete silence. For 2 straight hours, the entire world just watches this smooth, silent ship. The panic is mostly under control, but you've got this massive crowd forming, and every single eye and every single weapon is aimed right at that ship. In an age of paranoia and tension, our first gut reaction says it all. We don't send a scientist or a diplomat out to say hello. No, we send the army. Tanks, artillery, machine guns. Our welcome committee is armed to the teeth, expecting the absolute worst.
A ramp silently lowers. A figure emerges. This is, without a doubt, the most important moment in human history. So, how did it go?
And this is where it all just falls apart, instantly. The visitor, Klaatu, says he comes in peace. He's holding this small device, which is actually a gift for the president. But a jumpy soldier sees a strange object in a strange hand, and he fires a single gunshot. And just like that, any chance for a peaceful first meeting is gone. Fear won. So Klaatu's in a hospital bed trying to explain his mission. He asks to speak to leaders from all nations all at once, but he's told, sorry, that's impossible. The world is so divided, so suspicious, that leaders won't even sit at the same table. You can just feel his frustration. He's not here to get involved in our politics. He's here about the fate of the entire planet. Okay, so Klaatu realizes pretty quickly that our leaders are just trapped in their own childish jealousies. He's never going to get his message through to them. He needs to go around them and understand the people directly. So he does it. He just slips out of the hospital, disappears into the city, and rents a room at a boarding house. He starts going by the name Mr. Carpenter, a nice, simple name for a guy with a cosmic purpose. His whole plan is to get away from the military and the politicians, to see what we're really like, to try and figure out our strange, unreasoning attitudes. And here's the crazy part. While Klaatu is just quietly walking among us, the narrative on the radio is spinning completely out of control. They're describing this 8-foot-tall monster with tentacles, a menace that has to be hunted down and destroyed. It's such a wild contrast, this quiet, thoughtful guy living in the city versus the monster they've cooked up in their imaginations.
Mr. Carpenter figures he needs an ally, someone who operates on logic and reason, not fear. So he seeks out the smartest man in the world, Professor Barnhardt. He's hoping that a brilliant scientific mind might be the key to getting that meeting that all the politicians refused him.
But even with a genius like Barnhardt helping him out, Klaatu knows that just talking isn't going to cut it. He has to give the world a demonstration, a little taste of the power he represents, to force everyone to finally actually listen. So he sets it up with the professor. He's going to stage an event that's, in his words, dramatic but not destructive, something that will hit the entire planet all at once, something that will show everyone how serious this is without hurting a single person. And at noon, it happens. Everything stops. Cars stall. Elevators freeze. The lights go out. Around the entire world at the exact same moment, all electricity is just gone. For 30 minutes, the planet is frozen. It's a silent, global, and frankly terrifying display of absolute control. But here's the really brilliant part.
It wasn't just a clumsy, total blackout. Power stayed on in hospitals. It stayed on for planes that were in the middle of flying. Any life-critical system was left completely untouched. And that proves it, right? This wasn't an attack. This was a carefully aimed warning shot.
Well, the demonstration worked. The world is scared, sure, but it's finally paying attention. But just as Klaatu gets ready to deliver his real message, the manhunt for the spaceman closes in, and everything builds to this incredibly powerful conclusion.
Klaatu can feel them closing in, and he thinks he might not make it, so he gives a critical failsafe to his human friend Helen Benson. He gives her this strange three-word phrase, a command for his giant robot Gort, Klaatu Barada Nikto. He tells her there's no limit to what Gort could do if he gets hurt.
And he was right. The military corners him, and they kill him. It looks like it's all over. But Helen gets to Gort just in time. She says the words, and the robot retrieves Klaatu's body, takes it back to the ship, and using some kind of unbelievable technology, brings him back to life. They literally just demonstrated power over life and death itself. So finally, Klaatu gets to deliver his message, and it's a bombshell. He reveals that Gort isn't his bodyguard, he's a cop. See, Klaatu's people have totally eliminated war. How'd they do it? They created a race of all-powerful robots to enforce the peace. The moment any planet shows aggression, these robots step in and put a stop to it, automatically and with absolute finality.
And this all leads to the final stark ultimatum. Klaatu says, look, you people now have atomic energy and rockets. Your violence is no longer just your problem, it's a threat to the whole universe. So here it is, the choice. You can join the rest of the peaceful planets, but you have to give up the freedom to be violent, or you can keep on your current path and be completely obliterated.
And with that, Klaatu leaves. He just lets that warning hang in the air. He wasn't there to force our hand, just to lay out the facts. The choice, to give up our violent ways or face total destruction, is ours and ours alone. And that's the real power of this story, isn't it? It turns the question right back on us and asks, what would we choose?